Hi, back with another episode of Dacia. We've got green screen and a better camera and a better mic and better everything. We're going to answer some more questions, sort of just talk about some more stuff.
Well, me and Tom both do creative writing in a joint degree with games design. So it made sense for us to do something that was more story orientated. So I came up with the idea of perhaps having it in poetry, and that kind of does reflect the idea of having it in an archaic style, seeing as how the actual game itself is set in ancient times, and poetry has been a device that's been used to express various stories such as the Iliad and the Odyssey. So it kind of made sense to try and do something in a similar vein. So I think doing that and actually putting the story in poetry is something that acts as a bit of a challenge, sets it apart from other games, and adds to the overall value and artistic value of the artistic value of the game.
Because we're definitely aiming for a very artsy game as well. It's not arcadey at all. It has more gameplay than just a plain visual novel.
Yeah.
But it is quite an artistic game that relies a lot on the way it looks, the way it sounds, the way it's written. And
poetry enhances this. I think it adds an extra something to it. It doesn't just mean it's just on face value. It's more within itself just through dialogue.
Yeah, and it started out as a passing idea, we could do it all in poetry. It had to have some poetry in it. And then when we started looking at it, we thought actually this really works and it sounds really nice.
Yeah,
and everything reads really well with a lot of poetry in it.
And it's something that I've been doing a lot of this year, and hopefully
I've been reading it and it's really good so far. So yeah, I think that's why I kind of chose to do so much poetry in it. So for art style, we'll talk to Joanna a bit.
Yeah, so the way I inspired myself was from their clothing, because, at that particular time it was not very easy to see how things looked, and we all know a lot about the Romans and the Greeks, but most of these things are not available for the Dacians because not a lot of stuff has been left behind because they've been conquered by the Romans and therefore destroyed. And there's nothing that really sets how they were building or what was going on at that time. So the only thing I could find that was really reliable is the way they were dressing, because they were portrayed in other sort of by historians in different countries. Mm-hmm. And I kind of tried to make from that pattern something to remind me of them. And I'm being very careful with the style because I want to represent the history because I'm from there and it's my country's history, so I'm not taking chances with this.
Yeah, and I can see when you're looking at the patterns on their clothing, and then you're using the patterns in the trees and the buildings and everything, and it's really cool to see how such a sort of small thing like a bit of embroidery can turn into this whole scenery and sort of village and world. I think it's really cool. It's looking really good. And that's sort of how we came up with the art style with the patterns and embroidery on the clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back with more videos, more questions. If you have any questions for us, put them in the comments below. Follow our Facebook page and Twitters for updates and concept art and all that sort of jazz. We'll see you next time.